9 Simple Habits to Age. Gracefully and stay connected in your golden years. Aging is a journey that none of us can avoid, but how we walk this path makes all the difference. As we grow older, many of us begin to reflect on the lives we've lived, the wisdom we've gained, the relationships we've cherished, and the memories we've created. But this stage of life also presents challenges that can affect not only how we are perceived by others, but more importantly, how we perceive ourselves. The simple truth is that the choices we make, how we interact with others, how we carry ourselves, and how we embrace change shape the quality of our lives as we age. While aging brings inevitable physical changes, there are certain habits and behaviors we can control to ensure that we grow older with dignity, respect, and joy. In this guide, we'll explore 9 key behaviors that could unintentionally hinder our path to graceful aging. From dominating conversations to clinging to old grudges, these small but impactful habits can isolate us, rob us of our emotional peace, and prevent us from truly embracing the fullness of our later years. But here's the good news. Recognizing these behaviors gives us the power to change them. The habits we form now can help us build richer, more fulfilling connections and create a deeper sense of purpose and peace as we age. With a few intentional shifts, we can avoid these common pitfalls and navigate the golden years with greater grace and wisdom. So let's take a closer look at these 9 behaviors and explore how to avoid them, so you can step into your later years with confidence, compassion, and a renewed sense of connection. 1. Avoiding the habit of monopolizing conversations. As we get older, it's only natural to want to share the many stories we've collected over the years. We've lived through major life events, raised families, built careers, and seen the world change in countless ways. These experiences matter, and they often come with valuable lessons. But there's a fine line between sharing wisdom and dominating conversations. Without realizing it, we may slip into the habit of steering every discussion back to our past or opinions, leaving little space for others to speak. This can unintentionally make loved ones, especially younger family members, feel ignored or overshadowed. And while it may not be our intention, it can come across as self-centered rather than caring. One of the most powerful ways to stay connected in later life is by becoming a better listener. Think of a family dinner or a friendly gathering. Before jumping in with a story from your past, pause and listen. Ask yourself, will this add to the moment, or will it shift the focus away from someone else who deserves to be heard? Sometimes, the most generous thing we can do is offer our full attention. Active listening, truly tuning in and showing interest, goes a long way toward building deeper, more respectful relationships. If you're concerned that you might be talking too much, try a simple trick. After every story or comment you share, ask someone else a question. Say, "What do you think?" Or, "Have you ever experienced something like that?" These small prompts let others know their voices matter just as much as yours. You'll be surprised how much people open up when they feel invited into the conversation. Listening doesn't mean you're giving up your place in the spotlight. It means you're creating space for meaningful exchange. In fact, people often remember not what we said, but how we made them feel. Being known as someone who listens with kindness and genuine interest is one of the most respected qualities a person can have, especially in their golden years. It shows humility, emotional intelligence, and strength of character. While we may have a lifetime of experiences to talk about, sometimes the best gift we can offer is silence paired with a nod, a smile, and a listening ear. Aging gracefully means learning to balance speaking with listening. The ability to step back and allow others to shine doesn't lessen your light. It only makes it shine brighter. So the next time you're in conversation, choose curiosity over commentary and presence over performance. You might just discover a whole new world through someone else's words. Steering away from excessive bragging, We all take pride in our lives, our families, careers, homes, and the hardships we've overcome. It's only human to want to share the things that make us feel accomplished. However, in our later years, it's important to remember that constant boasting, even if well-intentioned, can create emotional distance between us and others. While you might think you're simply sharing good news, to someone else it might come across as showing off, especially if they're facing personal struggles or haven't had the same experiences. What brings you pride could unintentionally remind someone else of what they lack. Bragging isn't just about talking too much about ourselves. It's often about what we choose to highlight in conversations. Many seniors fall into this pattern without realizing it. For example, we may frequently mention how well our children or grandchildren are doing, or talk about our savings, homes, or travel. While these topics can bring joy, too much emphasis on them can make others feel inadequate, especially if they're dealing with job loss, health issues, or family problems. It's all about timing, tone, and intention. A more gracious approach is to focus on the lessons behind the milestones rather than the achievements themselves. Instead of saying, "My son is a top executive," you might say, "I've learned so much about letting go and trusting the next generation." This reframing not only softens the message but makes it more relatable and humble. People connect more deeply with shared wisdom than with success stories. It's also worth reflecting on why we feel the need to brag. Sometimes it stems from a desire to feel relevant or seen. But the truth is, the people who are most admired in their senior years are often those who speak modestly and act with quiet confidence. Their strength lies not in reminding others of their status, but in being genuinely curious, kind, and present. So what's a practical step? Start asking more questions than you answer. Show interest in others' lives, and when you do share something personal, relate it to a universal truth or emotion. For example, say, "I remember struggling with that too," or "That reminds me of a time I learned something the hard way." These approaches shift the focus from self-praise to shared understanding. At this stage of life, you don't need to prove your worth. It shines through in your actions, your grace, and your humility. A little restraint can go a long way in making people feel comfortable, respected, and drawn to your presence. And ultimately, being remembered for your warmth and wisdom is far more powerful than being known for your resume or family tree.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
3. Releasing the habit of snap judgments. With age comes experience, and with experience often comes the confidence to read situations and people quickly. But there's a downside to that. We can start forming opinions about others too fast, based on appearances, first words, or surface behaviors. This habit may seem harmless, but it can limit our relationships and keep us from forming genuine bonds, especially with people who are different from us. First impressions are rarely the full picture, and when we allow ourselves to get stuck in those early judgments, we risk closing doors before they even open. It's easy to fall into this pattern. You meet someone new, and within a few seconds, you've decided what kind of person they are. Maybe it's based on how they dress, their accent, or even their age or views. But here's the truth. Everyone has a story, and most of it is invisible to the eye. When we judge too quickly, we miss the richness beneath the surface. Worse, we may project stereotypes that keep us from connecting with people who could bring new joy, ideas, and even healing into our lives. Think back to a time when someone misunderstood or judged you without knowing your background. How did that feel? Now flip the mirror. Could you be doing the same to others, even unintentionally? Staying open-minded doesn't mean giving up your values. It means creating space for understanding. The most compassionate people are the ones who say, "Tell me more," instead of, "I already know." A good way to interrupt snap judgments is to replace assumptions with questions. Ask people what drives them, what they care about, Or what brings them joy? These kinds of questions often reveal unexpected layers that defy our initial impressions. You might discover a shared interest or a new way of seeing the world. Holding back from judging also keeps your mind sharp and your heart young. When you stay curious instead of certain, you remain a student of life. That kind of humility is rare, and it's what makes a person truly wise. The people who are most respected in old age are often those who treat everyone with the same interest and kindness, no matter their background. In the end, aging gracefully means choosing openness over certainty and understanding over assumption. It means allowing others to be fully seen and heard before deciding who they are. That not only honors their humanity, it enriches your own. The importance of personal appearance in later life. Many people believe that as we age, appearance should take a back seat to more meaningful matters like health, relationships, and inner peace. And while it's true that inner character matters far more than wrinkles or wardrobe, completely neglecting our appearance can have a quiet but powerful impact on our well-being. The way we present ourselves, through our grooming, clothing, and posture, sends a message to the world and, more importantly, to ourselves. It says, "I'm still here, and I still care." Keeping up with your appearance doesn't mean trying to look young or impress anyone. It simply means taking pride in yourself. Wearing clean, comfortable clothes that fit well, getting regular haircuts, maintaining good hygiene, these small acts of care go a long way in lifting your mood and boosting your confidence. They show that you respect yourself and that you still want to engage with the world around you. And when others see that, they tend to treat you with the same respect in return. Consider how you feel after you've showered, gotten dressed, and looked in the mirror. There's often a little lift in the spirit. Now think about how that affects your willingness to go out, meet people, or take on new activities. Presentation isn't about perfection, it's about presence. Looking after yourself helps you stay connected, both socially and emotionally. If you've gotten out of the habit of self-care, start small. Refresh your wardrobe with a couple of outfits that make you feel good. Visit a trusted barber or stylist. Use scented soap or lotion that lifts your mood. These don't need to be extravagant changes. They just need to remind you that you are still worth caring for, every single day. In your golden years, dignity is often found in the details. Taking care of your appearance is one of the simplest ways to maintain your sense of identity and purpose. Far from being vain, it's an act of self-respect that affirms your value and lets the world know you are still living life, not just passing through it.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
5. Letting go of the expectation for automatic respect. There was a time when age alone commanded instant respect. People deferred to elders simply because they had lived longer and were presumed to be wiser. While respect for seniors still exists, our society has changed. Today, respect is less about age and more about how we treat others, regardless of generation. For many older adults, this shift can feel frustrating or even insulting. But rather than demanding respect, the wiser approach is to earn it, through humility, kindness, and active engagement. Respect is no longer something owed just because we've reached a certain age. It's something that's built through actions. If we insist that younger people should respect us simply because we're older, we may find ourselves met with resistance or even resentment. But when we take the time to listen to their ideas, show appreciation for their perspectives, and treat them as equals, we often receive far more respect than we expect, because we've earned it. Think of the people in your life who have earned your admiration. Chances are they weren't the ones demanding attention or insisting on their authority. They were probably generous with their wisdom, patient with others, and willing to admit when they didn't know everything. That same approach applies at any age, especially later in life. Being open to learning, asking thoughtful questions, and showing curiosity about younger generations helps bridge the gap between old and young. Next time you're in a conversation with someone younger, resist the urge to lecture or correct. Instead, ask them about their experiences. Try saying, "That's interesting, tell me more," or "What's your take on this?" These small gestures show that you value their voice. When people, regardless of age, feel seen and respected, they are far more likely to return the favor. We all want to be respected, especially as we age. But clinging to the expectation that it should come automatically can hold us back from forming deeper, more meaningful relationships. It's in how we listen, how we carry ourselves, and how we treat others that we truly earn lasting respect. In the end, the kind of respect that matters most doesn't come from fear or tradition. It comes from admiration, and that kind of respect can't be demanded. It's inspired. 6. Releasing the weight of grudges. As we grow older, our emotional landscape becomes more layered. We've experienced joy, love, loss, and for many of us, betrayal or disappointment. It's natural to carry the emotional scars from a life fully lived. But when those old wounds harden into grudges, they begin to weigh heavily on our hearts. Holding on to resentment might feel like a way of protecting ourselves or standing our ground, but in truth, it often does more harm to us than to anyone else. Grudges are emotional burdens. They keep us anchored to past pain, forcing us to relive the hurt again and again. Over time, they can fuel bitterness and keep us closed off from healing relationships or new connections. For seniors, this emotional baggage can interfere with peace of mind, strain family bonds, and even contribute to depression or anxiety. The longer we hold on, the more it takes from our present. Letting go of a grudge doesn't mean saying what happened was okay. It doesn't mean excusing bad behavior or pretending you weren't hurt. What it does mean is choosing your own peace over punishment. It's recognizing that forgiveness is something you give yourself, not necessarily the person who hurt you. It's the decision to stop drinking the poison and expecting the other person to suffer. If you've been holding on to resentment, try this simple step. Write a letter to the person who hurt you, not to send, but to express. Say everything you need to say, then reflect on how that anger has affected you. Are you more guarded with loved ones? Have you missed out on joyful moments because of it? Recognizing these effects can help you begin to let go. By releasing grudges, you open space in your life for peace, clarity, and deeper connections. You give yourself permission to live in the present instead of being trapped in the past. As we age, emotional freedom becomes just as important as physical independence. It allows us to face each day lighter, freer, and with greater compassion for ourselves and others. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's strength. It takes courage to say, "This hurt me, but I will not let it define me." Let that be your legacy. Not the grudges you carried, but the grace you chose to extend. 7. Staying open to change. One of the quiet challenges of growing older is the temptation to resist change. We've spent decades building routines, forming beliefs, and developing habits that give our lives structure and meaning. But life, by its very nature, is always changing. Technology evolves, society shifts, and even the people around us grow and change. If we cling too tightly to the way things used to be, we risk isolating ourselves and missing out on the vitality that still surrounds us. It's easy to say, "I don't do things that way," or "That's not how we used to do it." But when that mindset becomes rigid, it can block us from learning new skills, connecting with younger generations, or adapting to circumstances that require flexibility. Whether it's learning to use a smartphone, adjusting to modern health advice, or simply trying a new way of doing things, embracing change keeps the mind active and the spirit young. Change doesn't have to be overwhelming. Start small. Try a new food, explore a hobby you've never attempted, or let a grandchild teach you something new. These small acts of openness signal to others and to yourself that you're still growing, still learning, still fully engaged with life. Resisting change often stems from fear, fear of feeling out of place, fear of making mistakes, or fear of letting go of control. But the most fulfilled seniors are those who approach life with curiosity rather than fear. They understand that learning never stops, and that flexibility is a form of strength, not surrender. Being open to change doesn't mean giving up who you are. It means remaining responsive to the world around you. It shows those you love that you're willing to adapt and evolve, which can inspire them to do the same. It's a beautiful legacy to leave, not just stability, but adaptability. In the journey of aging, it's not the strongest who thrive, it's the most adaptable. Keep your heart open, your mind flexible, and your spirit willing. Change can be your ally, not your enemy.
If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 7 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward.
8. Embracing emotional vulnerability. Over time, many of us learn to guard our emotions. After all, life has its share of heartbreak. Friends lost, love faded, trust broken. It's easy to decide that protecting our hearts is the safest path forward. But as we age, emotional vulnerability becomes not a weakness, but a profound source of strength. When we allow ourselves to be emotionally open, especially with those we trust, we unlock the opportunity for deeper connection, healing, and joy. Keeping feelings bottled up can lead to loneliness and disconnection. While it may feel safer to smile through the pain or avoid certain conversations, doing so often creates emotional walls. These barriers may keep us from getting hurt, but they also keep us from truly being seen or known. In our later years, when relationships become even more precious, emotional honesty can be the glue that holds them together. Sharing your fears, your regrets, or your longings isn't a sign that you're falling apart. It's a sign that you're human. Vulnerability invites closeness. When you open up, you make it easier for others to do the same. Whether with a lifelong friend, a spouse, or a younger family member, these moments of openness create lasting bonds that far outweigh any risk of embarrassment or rejection. To begin practicing vulnerability, start small. Tell someone you appreciate them. Share a story that made you emotional. Admit when you're afraid or uncertain. These simple acts are doorways to greater intimacy and emotional fulfillment. As we age, it becomes clearer that life is not just about accomplishments or possessions. It's about the quality of our connections. And those connections are built on truth, empathy, and shared emotion. Don't rob yourself of the richness that vulnerability can bring. There's tremendous freedom in allowing yourself to be real, to be seen, and to be loved for exactly who you are. Let your heart speak. Let your truth be known. You'll be surprised at how deeply others will meet you there. 9. Letting go of the past to embrace the present. Looking back on life is one of the gifts of aging. We have decades of memories, moments of joy, triumph, growth, and love. But while the past can be a source of comfort, becoming too attached to it can prevent us from living fully in the present. When we spend too much time longing for the good old days, we risk overlooking the blessings right in front of us. The past shaped us, yes, but it doesn't define us. Each day brings the chance for new experiences, new relationships, and even new dreams. If we're constantly comparing today to yesterday, we may miss the unique beauty of what's happening now. Life doesn't stop offering gifts just because we've reached a certain age. They simply come in different forms: slower mornings, meaningful conversations, a walk in the sunshine, or the quiet peace of a well-earned rest. Cherishing memories is healthy, but clinging to them can be limiting. Ask yourself, are you honoring the past, or are you living in it? The difference lies in your focus. Do you tell stories to inspire or to escape from now? Do you see aging as a decline or as a continuation of your story with new chapters to be written? You can shift your perspective by making a conscious effort to participate in the present. Say yes to a social invitation. Try a new activity. Pick up the phone and call a friend. Keep a gratitude journal of current joys. These small acts can help bring your awareness back to the life you're still actively living. The past is part of who you are, but it doesn't have to be your home. You still have time, purpose, and value. By choosing to live in the now, you reclaim the beauty of each day and allow your future to unfold with hope and presence. Aging is not just about the passing of time, but about the choices we make along the way. As we grow older, the way we engage with the world, our mindset, relationships, and behaviors determines the quality of our experience. It's easy to fall into habits like monopolizing conversations, holding on to grudges, or resisting change, but these behaviors can create emotional barriers and limit our ability to connect with others. The key to aging gracefully lies in self-awareness and intentionality. We can choose to listen more than we speak, to share wisdom without boasting, and to embrace vulnerability as a strength, not a weakness. Letting go of the past and being open to new experiences allows us to remain relevant and engaged, keeping our spirits young. By treating others with respect, not just demanding it, we build stronger, more meaningful relationships. Ultimately, aging gracefully is about nurturing our self-respect, embracing the present, and fostering deeper connections. It's not the years that define us, but the way we live those years, mindfully, with grace, and in full appreciation of the life we continue to create.
Thank you for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today, how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue to create great content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.